I just realized something. So if you look, I guess my flashlight's not going to work. Anyways, I have a tattoo of a test triangle on my leg. Now I was thinking of like a Pink Floyd symbol or a, sobriety type thing. Those were the two. If I get a triangle, I could turn into something very easily. So it was a test run. And then after I was done with that, I said, okay, well, I believe in sobriety, but I have a neurological disorder. Well, I didn't know that's what it was called back then, but I have something wrong with me, and I'm treating myself. And when I get sober, and I'm in all these sober programs, I do AA, and I'm fully dedicated to becoming sober. When I'm finally fully know I don't have any more want to do this, and I'm ready to just face my death or face my disability or face whatever the hell, from 19 to 23 or so, I was running from what my mother and father did to me, and I was in a little bit of denial, and I believed in my mother and father, and I had faith in them, and that was a big mistake. That's the only mistake I actually made. If my father is going to blame me for something, the only thing he can point fingers at is that I trusted him and my mother and believed them. So with this triangle, as soon as I'm ready to become fully sober, I said to myself, I'll put a circle, the NA symbol, triangle within a circle. I'm ready for the circle. I've been ready for the circle for years and years now. But I didn't even think about the tattoo on my leg that has to do with sobriety. I was thinking of Pink Floyd when I first did. I said Pink Floyd or NA. But only after a couple weeks after I did the test triangle, I was like, oh, NA for sure. Well, it's not on the top of my list, but I've been ready for the circle for years now. So, yeah, I guess if I do survive, I have to put $5 or $10 in to get a black circle around it. Shouldn't be too expensive just to make a small black circle. I could even call it a O. I think some places charge like $3 to $5, $3 to $7 for a letter, any size. You can get any size letter. $7. A lot of them have this rule. I'll give you any letter in black and then they do each letter in any size. Well, a 0 and an O is a circle, and it's also a letter and a number. So I should be able to get that pretty damn cheap. Not that I would even do it now. If I get $7, that's bus tickets to the hospital again, and oh my God, Marilax is coming up. Marilax is like $20 for generic or like $38 for the name brand of the big. I can get it for some cheaper on Amazon, but obviously without a bank, I had to close my account. I wasn't planning on it, but I can't commit suicide by work. No way. I need to handle these issues. And the only way they get handled is by doing exactly as a priest and some people like psychiatrists have said before. Go to your father, tell him the truth of what happened to you, and ask him to work with you to handle this. It's not your responsibility to tackle your mother's problem, and you cannot take responsibility for what your mother and father did for you. But your father can take responsibility and see if you work with him, why not? I mean, are you out to get your father? Absolutely not. I mean, I've always loved my father. He needs to handle this and stop running. He's done things that are bad, but he's done things that are good. And my mother took him for a ride. My mother drained him of resources while hurting me. And they're like, oh, in that case, then just tell him that. I'm like, yeah, right. You don't know my father. How bad could it be? Call me a frickin' addict, a junkie. He'll probably call it a fantasy, probably call it a red herring, probably call me every which name, then probably blame me, shut off my voice, shut me off of everything, start attacking me, calling my doctors, cutting off all. They're like, oh, he couldn't be that bad. Well, hopefully not.